What's up guys, this is Sunny back with another Ryzen 7 video. Now yesterday I did made video on Ryzen 7 and some of you had some question I couldn't answer. I was way too excited. Basically I went live and I was just talking to you guys. But today I just want to give you guys a little in-depth on this CPU. So as you guys know, the CPU was announced yesterday, February 22nd. You could pre-order right now if you want, or you can order until March 2nd and order, or maybe you can just wait and see review and benchmark from other YouTubers, and then you can order the CPU you like. Now, the reason I'm making this video, I know some of you are really confused about which CPU you should buy. The R7 1700, R7 1700X, or R7 1800X. As you guys can see, all the CPU comes with same core, same hyper-threading. So as you can see, the 1700 comes with 8 core 16 thread. The 1700X also comes with 8 core 16 threads. 1800X also comes with 8 core 16 threads. So 1700 basically is the base the lowest 8 core processor they're selling. So now mind you, 1700 perform almost same as i7 5960X. If you guys are familiar with i7 5960X, the Cinebench for i7 5960X stock with their overclock 1300 and I believe 14 Cinebench score, CV 1340 Cinebench score. As you guys know, the R7 1700 Cinebench score is around 1410. So R7 1700 performs better than i7 5960X as well. i7 5960X. So if you're someone out there who always wanted a 5960X and you can never able to afford the CPU, or you are not willing to spend $800-900, right here you can get a R7 1700, and that's it. That CPU will perform better than a 5960X or almost same as a 5960X. The reason AMD was comparing R7 1700 with a 7700K, not because of the performance. They were basically comparing price to performance. They're basically trying to show you're buying a i7 7700K for $349, okay, a quad-core processor with 8 threads, while you can buy a 8-core processor with 16 threads for $329. So $20 less you'll pay and you'll get way more better performance. I do recommend, if you guys are, if you're someone who likes to stream a lot, like, if you like to Twitch a lot, you stream game and stuff, 1700 is a great CPU for you. If you're in a budget, you can pick up a ASRock motherboard. You can find one for $139 or $150. You can get the Ryzen 7 1700 for $329 and get some RAMs for like $129, like some Corsair Vengeance RAMs. You pay like $127 and you are perfectly fine right there. You can upgrade if you already have a system running like a quad-core processor, so you already have the power supply, you already have everything else in there. The 1700 is the only one comes with a stock AMD RGB cooler. The 1700X and 1800X doesn't come with the original AMD RGB cooler. For 1700X and the 1800X, you have to buy cooler. So if you're in a budget, go with 1700. You are perfectly fine. Like I said, $329. Pick up a motherboard for like another $154. You should be perfectly fine, guys. Also, the 3.0 gigahertz, you can always overclock the CPU. Okay, don't just think that 1700X and the 1800X you can overclock, and you can't overclock the 1700. You can overclock the 1700, same as 1700X and the 1800. Now, let me tell you guys the difference. The 1700X and the 1800X, the X is for XFR. XFR basically, the CPU, the processor will boost by itself. If you have a liquid cooler, the temperature temperature is good, the CPU will boost by itself. So let's put this say the 1800X will boost maybe by itself, all the way up to 4.1 gigahertz if CPU is cool enough. Basically same as NVIDIA GPU boost 3.0. So basically all the Pascal GPU boost by itself. So I don't know if you guys remember, like if you have a Pascal GPU like a GTX 1070 or 1080, if you go to GPU Z, you can see the base clock and the boost clock. But when you run belly benchmark, you will see, like if you have a like a boost clock 1800, you will see maybe you are sitting somewhere maybe on 1900 or 2000. That's cause GPU boost pushing the GPU to perform like that automatically. So that's exactly same technology AMD use with the XFR. With proper cooling, the processor will boost by itself and overclock a little bit by itself. All right, so let's jump into 1700X. So 1700X, AMD was comparing with the 6800K. First thing first, guys, I just want to clear the reason AMD was comparing the R7 1700X with the 6800K just because of the price. Okay, the 1700, as you guys can see right here, will outperform a 6800K, 5020K, okay, and 5960X. Okay, so the 1700X basically has almost similar performance, okay, almost similar performance as 6900K. So if you're someone out there who is looking to get a 6900K, you can get a 1700X and you going to get the same performance. Now let me explain why. As you guys can see, 1700X right here, the Cinebench score is 1537, and the 6900K right here, Cinebench score is 1474. So stock to stock, 1700X performs better than a 6900K. Now, if you're someone, like I say, someone out there who is looking to get a 6900K, you can get yourself a 1700X, okay? And with a little bit more overclocking, this processor will perform way better, trust me. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the 1700X because between 1700X and the 1800X, basically right there, Okay, 1800X, you can overclock this processor, okay? If you overclock this processor and you can get like, little higher number, maybe 4.5, a little bit more, okay? So if you're someone who is looking to buy a 6950X, just get yourself a 1800X, and you should be perfectly fine. Just overclock a little bit. I know there's like 2 less core. 5960X comes with like 10 core, 20 threads, and 1800X basically come with 8 cores, 16 threads. But if you overclock the CPU will give you almost similar performance as 6950X. Now, so basically, which CPU do I recommend for who? Okay, if you are someone who who renders a lot, okay, you render a lot of video, you stream, you stream game, you do a lot of streaming and stuff, I do recommend you to go with 1700X, because for gaming 3.0 gigahertz, anything more than 3 and up gigahertz, you should be perfectly fine for gaming. I do recommend you guys to get like 1700, but if you don't care about XFR, then go with 1700. You should be perfectly fine. You can overclock and get better number. But if you're someone who is looking to get a perfect CPU, you don't want to spend too much for 1800X, you don't want to get like a 1700. 1700X basically is the sweet spot. 1700X basically for someone who likes to create content, stream, game. Perfect processor is the 1700X. 1800X is for someone who wants like extreme performance. If you don't need that much, basically the difference between all the CPU you're looking right now, Okay, so the 1700 doesn't come with XFR. The 1700X and 1800X comes with XFR. Other than that, all the CPU, as you guys can see, 3 CPU, only different between this CPU, just the base clock and the boost clock. That's all, nothing else. Also, 1700 comes with TDP 65 TDP, and 1700X comes with 95 TDP, and 1800X comes with 95 TDP also. Now, I'm planning on building a Ryzen build for myself. I'm planning on getting an ASRock motherboard. I don't know exact the name of that motherboard. I seen one in Newegg. Actually, we can jump right now in Newegg and maybe show you guys. So I'm planning on getting ASRock X370 killer motherboard. Now, the reason I like this motherboard, matches perfectly with my black and white build, because motherboard has white heatsink and then black chipset and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to get this motherboard. I don't know about this red LED right here. Maybe I'll turn it off. So I'm looking forward to get this motherboard. Also, this motherboard comes with the Wi-Fi. It comes with the HDMI. Then comes with like a 3 USB 3 and whatever I need, basically, and USB-C. So basically I'll just go with this motherboard because I did my math. Basically, if I get this motherboard, right, let me see if what I got in there. Okay, so if I get a most likely I will get a 1700 CPU, Ryzen 7 1700 I'll get for myself. So let me see. Okay, so as you guys can see, for $473 I can get a great motherboard with the SLI support, and also I can get the Ryzen 7 1700 CPU. And let's get some Corsair DDR4 RAMs. I already have the RAMs, but I'm just showing you guys. And maybe I can just go with these RAMs right here, $419 Corsair. Let me show you guys. So I can go with this RAMs, Corsair Vengeance LPX. So as you guys can see, the total cost right here, okay, $593. With $593, you have a great looking motherboard, okay, and you have a processor that 8 core, 16 threads, and you have 16 gigs of RAM. You can't go wrong, guys. A 6800 costs like $400 something. So, and you are building a whole system for like $593. So I think it's a great choice. You guys can go with if you want, you can go with like the Viastar B350. You can overclock using this motherboard. You can overclock using B350. The only difference, you can SLI in this motherboard. Basically, these are the base model of like the X370. If you get an X370, you can SLI. You can overclock even higher. So if you want, you can go with even something cheaper. The cheapest B350 I seen here in Newegg, most of them are sold out. So most of this motherboards sold out. So you can get like Asus B350 Plus motherboard, as you guys can see right here. And I think this motherboard looks really nice for the budget, and $99. So if you get this motherboard, right, like if you don't care about the X370 motherboard, just remove this one and we can get the other one. And let's see the total. So as you guys can see, total cost is $553. But I do recommend you guys to get the X370 motherboard, because if you're gonna get a motherboard for one time, just get the just spend a little bit more money and get the X370 motherboard. You know, the B350 you will be a little limited, you know, if you're planning on like extreme overclock and get the higher clock with the higher volt and stuff. So go with the X370 motherboard, X370 chipset motherboard. So other than that, guys, that's all I want to talk about. Like I say, the best processor you can buy out of all these three processors, the 1700X. This is like the sweet spot right here. It comes with the 3.4 gigahertz base clock, 3.8 boost clock, and with proper cooling, you could go all the way up to automatically. The processor will boost itself up to maybe 4 gigahertz. You never know, you know. Other than that, the price, everything looks really good, guys. Like I say, the 1700 right here does perform almost same as a 5960X. You can compare the CPU. When that CPU comes out, you can compare with a 5960X. So if you guys have any other question you guys want me to talk about, I'll be more than happy to talk about. And for now, this should be it, guys. Just wanted to give you guys that little, you know, in depth on you know, what type of performance you will get. So that should be it. Peace.